From the episode 2 trailer, it looks like what we're going to see in the next one is the war in the Stepstones, the beginning of that. So, what I wanted to do was to do a video giving a little bit of a description of the Stepstones. And there's no better place to do that than from the book Fire and Blood itself and George R. R. Martin's own words. The Stepstones, the chain of rocky islands between Dorne and the disputed lands of Essos, had long been a haunt of outlaws, exiles, wreckers, and pirates. Of themselves, the isles were of little worth, but placed as they were, they controlled the sea lanes to and from the narrow sea, and merchant ships passing through those waters were often preyed on by their inhabitants. Still, for centuries, such depredations had remained no more than a nuisance. 10 years earlier, however, the free cities of Lys, Myr, and Tyrosh had put aside their ancient enmities to make common cause in a war against Volantis. After defeating the Volantines in the Battle of the Borderland, the three victorious cities had entered into an eternal alliance and formed a strong new power, the Triarchy, better known in Westeros as the Kingdom of the Three Daughters, as each of the free cities considered itself a daughter of Valyria of old, or more rudely, the Kingdom of the Three Whores, though this kingdom was without a king, being governed by a council of 33 magisters. Once Valansis sued for peace and withdrew from the disputed lands, the three daughters had turned their gaze westward, sweeping over the Stepstones with their combined armies and fleets under the command of the Myrish prince, Admiral Kragas Drahar, who earned the sobriquet Kragas Crabfeeder when he staked out hundreds of captured pirates on the wet sands to drown beneath the rising tide. The conquest and annexation of the Stepstones by the Kingdom of the Three Daughters at first met with only approval from the lords of Westeros. Order had replaced chaos, and if the three daughters demanded a toll of any ship passing through the waters, that seemed a small price to pay to be rid of the pirates. The avarice of Kragas Crabfeeder and his partners in conquest soon turned feelings against them, however. The toll was raised again and yet again, soon becoming so ruinous that merchants who had once paid gladly now sought to slip past the galleys of the Triarchy as once they had the pirates. Drahar and his Lysine and Tyroshi co-admirals seemed to be vying with each other to see who was the greediest. Okay, that's a good point to stop. It gives a little bit of a background, but doesn't jump into any spoilers. As you can see here, the Stepstones are located in a really strategic spot between Westeros and Essos. It's just off the coast of Dorne. And in the first episode, if you remember, when we were having the King's Council, Corlys was explaining to Viserys about what was going on down there. And that's when Otto jumped in and started talking about the tourney and brought the conversation off into another direction, and Corlys was disgusted. And he's a seafarer who has amassed great wealth, has the largest navy. So if the Triarchy is pushing high tolls, starting to control this area, exerting too much influence, this is something that's extremely important to him. So I think that's it for this one. Just wanted to give a quick rundown of the Stepstones since they're going to be featuring prominently in the next one and then moving forward this season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.